Each year, Cornwall's scenic sights and stunning sands draw in thousands of holidaymakers. They surf, swim and explore, but beneath the beauty, the sea can change in an instant. Calm, tranquil waters can quickly turn into powerful rip currents and huge swells, making the sea far more deadly. In those dangerous moments, when the sea shows its true force, there are men and women who don't hesitate. While others may freeze or watch on in fear, they rush forward to the danger, knowing full well the risks they face. They dive into turbulent waters, battling against powerful currents and unpredictable tides, armed only with their skills, training, and an unshakable urge to save lives. With every rescue, they risk their lives to protect those of others, facing the very dangers that others fear. I've been given exclusive access to film their training and witness firsthand the extraordinary dedication and expertise these lifesavers bring to their daily duties on Cornwall's front lines. These are the men and women of the RNLI Lifeguards. Every rescue is built on rigorous preparation. RNLI Lifeguards train tirelessly to master skills and endurance to face the unpredictable seas. To understand what's involved, I spoke with a lifeguard supervisor about the training that prepares them to save lives.
So my name's Charlie and I'm a lifeguard supervisor for the RNLI in Perranporth. So the lifeguard induction is a sort of 2-week training course. It involves various fitness tests including swimming, paddleboarding, rescue tube scenarios and various other scenarios, as well as operating the craft we have, so the inshore rescue boat and the rescue watercraft. So in training, while using the rescue board, we'll put casualties in a difficult area, such as a rip where people are likely to get into difficulty. We'll then practice entering the water, paddling out on the rescue board, securing the casualty onto the rescue board. We also practice conscious or unconscious rescues because the techniques used are slightly different, and then we practice returning the casualty back to shore safely and securely, using waves if possible to get them in quicker. So the rescue tube is a slightly more old-fashioned tool. It's not used as regularly on the north coast of Cornwall anymore, but it is still very useful for sort of inshore rescues close to shore and inshore rip currents. So it would be used ideally with a pair of fins as well, which help people swim faster. And it is something that can be used in a shore dump or, as I say, an enclosed area where a rescue board might not be appropriate. We can also use rescue tubes from our watercraft as well, so from our inshore rescue boats and our jet skis. So there's various aspects to jet ski training. Obviously there's the normal driving. On our rescue skis we have sleds on the back as well. So we practice operating the jet ski alone with nobody on the back. We'd also practice using the rescue craft with somebody on the sled, which is a bit different. The craft becomes heavier and the rescue styles. So we do solo rescues, which is sort of hand-to-hand pickups onto the sled. We then do rescues with a crew as well. So if we have a crew member on the sled, we can get them to swim over to a casualty, take them safely back. And then a huge part of jet ski operations on the north coast of Cornwall is operating in large surf conditions. And that's the primary use of our jet skis, is when the surf conditions are large and it's low tide and heavy. So we practice negotiating through the surf safely, how to punch through waves, and how to keep the craft upright.
Ella has been one of the team for 4 seasons, and today she's sharing her experience about being one of 16 females out of the 70 Perranporth area lifeguards.
So yeah, there are quite a lot of men that work, especially I think as lifeguards in the RNLI, but there are quite a few women now as well. It's definitely, as I said, I've done 4 years, so when I first started to now, I reckon I've definitely seen an increase in the amount of women that are working as lifeguards. I think to be honest, there's quite a good community, and I do feel quite supported by the RNLI. I think previously it's definitely progressed. You see, as it's gone on, like there's all female kit now and everything. We've got our swimming costumes like specifically for us and everything. I think just generally like the whole lifeguard team is quite friendly and it's quite a nice atmosphere, and it does feel quite easy to fit into. I've got quite a lot of like girls that are friends that are also working as lifeguards, which I think definitely helps. I started along with a lot of my friends, so definitely felt quite supported by having other women in the same industry as well.
With their training behind them, lifeguards head out to where it matters most, the shoreline. Today, Tom and Bertie are on patrol, keeping watch over one of Cornwall's busiest beaches, ready to respond the moment they're needed.
Come down to the beach and we'll look at what we're seeing. We'll look for different rip currents and the size of the surf, and we'll basically put the red and yellows, that's our swim zone, where we want our swimmers and bodyboarders, in the safest area of the beach, so away from all the rip currents on a sandbank. And then usually just next to that, in sort of the second safest area, we'll put the black and whites, which is for the surfers, we always like to keep them separate to make sure there's no collisions. And yeah, and then we'll put the truck bang in the centre of the red and yellows, which sort of attracts everyone, so make sure everyone goes in between the red and yellow flags. And on this beach we've got a strong rip current on the right hand side, so we always put out a rip current sign and some rescue equipment there if we need to run over to the right hand side of the beach, so it's all prepared. And yeah, little public information signs dotted along the beach at various points, and yeah, the beach is all set up, and always have 2 lifeguards at water's edge, keeping a watch and making sure everyone's all right.
While I was there, I had the opportunity to film a mock rescue with one of my crew members acting as the casualty, giving a closer look at how these lifeguards put their training into action. Every second counts when someone's life is in danger. RNLI lifeguards are trained to respond, fast, focused and fearless. Tom and Bertie spot an unconscious swimmer beyond the surf line. Fighting through the waves, paddling with speed and precision, he reaches the casualty, unresponsive in the water. Rolling the swimmer onto the board, Bertie brings the casualty into shore. Another call comes in. A swimmer is in trouble, caught in a powerful rip current and struggling to stay afloat. Tom deploys with a rescue tube. He swims strong against the current in order to get to the struggling casualty. He secures the rescue tube around the swimmer and begins the tow back to safety. Two rescues, two different scenarios, one purpose: saving lives. The sea is unpredictable, but one thing remains certain: the RNLI lifeguards will always be there, watching, waiting, and when needed, risking everything to save lives. Day in and day out, these men and women put themselves in harm's way to protect others. They run into danger so others can walk away safely. They don't do it for recognition. They do it because somebody needs them. The sea can be unforgiving, but thanks to the RNLI lifeguards, countless lives are saved. These are the men and women who make sure we all make it home. These are the men and women of the RNLI lifeguards.